Imagine looking up at the sky today and seeing something impossible. The familiar golden sun has suddenly transformed into a deep, glowing blue star. The world would freeze in confusion. The sun has been the symbol of warmth, life, and stability for billions of years, but a sudden change in its color would tell us that something extraordinary has happened at the heart of our solar system. A blue sun would not simply be a beautiful sight. It would reveal a dramatic transformation in the balance of energy that controls every living thing on Earth. The color of a star is determined by its surface temperature. Our sun appears yellow because its surface is around 5,500 degrees Celsius, producing a combination of light that our eyes perceive as golden. A blue sun would mean the surface temperature had increased dramatically, likely reaching temperatures above 10,000 degrees Celsius. This would transform the sun into a much hotter and more powerful star, releasing far more intense radiation toward Earth. The first moments after this change would be terrifyingly beautiful. The sky would no longer have the familiar warm daylight we know. Instead, the atmosphere would glow with a strange blue-white light. Shadows would appear sharper, and the entire planet would look like it had entered an alien world. But beneath this incredible view, Earth would begin facing serious consequences. The extra heat and radiation from a blue sun would quickly affect our planet. Temperatures would rise, oceans would begin warming, and weather patterns would become unstable. The delicate balance that allows life to exist would start breaking apart. Plants that depend on sunlight for photosynthesis would struggle because the new radiation levels could damage their cells. As plants decline, ecosystems would face enormous pressure, affecting animals and humans alike. A hotter sun would also release stronger ultraviolet radiation. Earth's atmosphere and magnetic field protect life from much. However, the most important lesson from this imaginary event is the fragile balance that makes Earth special. Our planet exists in a perfect relationship with the sun. The distance between Earth and the sun, the amount of energy we receive, and the conditions created over billions of years have allowed life to flourish. Even a small change in the sun's behavior could completely reshape our world. The idea of a blue sun reminds us that the universe is constantly changing. Stars are born, evolve, and eventually transform in ways that can create breathtaking beauty and unimaginable destruction. Although our sun will not suddenly turn blue, imagining such a possibility helps us understand how powerful stars truly are. Every sunrise we experience is the result of a cosmic balance that has lasted for billions of years. The golden light above us is not ordinary. It is a sign of a stable universe that allows life to exist. A blue sun would be a spectacular sight, but it would also be a reminder that even the most familiar things in the cosmos are part of a much larger and more mysterious story. That a blue sun would mean an extreme temperature change. The sun's color depends on its surface temperature. If it suddenly turned blue, it would indicate a massive increase in heat, transforming it into a much hotter star with far greater energy output. The sun is one of the most powerful objects in our solar system, and its color tells us a great deal about its temperature and energy. Right now, the sun appears yellow-white because its surface temperature is around 5,500 degrees Celsius. But imagine a moment when the sun suddenly changed into a brilliant blue star. This would not be a simple change in appearance. It would mean that something extraordinary had happened deep within the sun itself. A blue sun would indicate that its surface temperature had increased dramatically. Blue-colored stars are among the hottest stars in the universe, with surface temperatures often exceeding. The extra heat from a blue sun would affect climates, oceans, and ecosystems. Plants that evolved under the current sunlight conditions could struggle to survive, creating problems throughout the food chain. The balance that allows Earth to remain a comfortable home for life would begin to change. A blue sun would represent a dramatic cosmic transformation, showing how closely connected our planet is to the star that gives us energy. It would remind us that even a small change in the sun's nature could create unimaginable consequences across the entire solar system. Earth would experience dangerous environmental changes. A hotter blue sun would increase temperatures on Earth, disrupt weather patterns, warm oceans, and create severe challenges for ecosystems and life. That a sudden transformation of the sun into a blue star would create dramatic and dangerous changes for Earth's environment. Our planet depends on a very precise balance of energy from the sun. For billions of years, Earth has adapted to the amount of heat and light provided by our star. If the sun became much hotter and brighter, this balance would quickly begin to collapse. The first major effect would be a rapid increase in global temperatures. The additional energy reaching Earth would heat the atmosphere and oceans, causing climate systems to become unstable. Ice sheets and glaciers would begin melting at an accelerated rate, leading to rising sea levels and major changes in weather patterns around the world. Areas that once supported life could become too hot and dry, while storms and extreme weather events could become more frequent and intense. The oceans, which play a vital role in regulating Earth's climate, would absorb enormous amounts of extra heat. As ocean temperatures increased, marine ecosystems would face serious threats. Many species that depend on specific temperature ranges would struggle to survive, causing disruptions throughout the food chain. Increased radiation would threaten living organisms. A blue sun would release much stronger ultraviolet radiation, which could damage plants, animals, and humans while putting Earth's protective systems under extreme pressure. That a blue sun would not only change the temperature of Earth, but would also expose the planet to much stronger radiation. The sun produces different types of energy, including visible light, heat, and ultraviolet radiation. A hotter blue star would release far greater amounts of high-energy radiation, creating serious challenges for all forms of life on Earth. The atmosphere currently acts as a protective shield, absorbing much of the harmful radiation from the sun. However, a sudden increase in solar energy could place enormous pressure on this natural protection system. Higher levels of ultraviolet radiation could damage living cells, affecting humans, animals, and plants. Long-term exposure to stronger radiation could create serious health risks and make survival much more difficult for many species. Plants would face one of the greatest challenges because they depend on sunlight for energy. Although sunlight allows them to grow, excessive radiation can destroy important biological processes. If large numbers of plants began to decline, the effects would spread throughout ecosystems. Animals that rely on plants for food would face shortages, and the entire balance of nature would begin to change. Humans would also need to adapt to a world with a much more intense Sunday daily life, would become dangerous without protection from the increased radiation and heat. The simple act of going outside could require advanced technology and new ways of protecting ourselves from the harsh conditions. The possibility of a blue sun reminds us that the energy coming from our star is carefully balanced. The sun provides the foundation for life, but too much power from the same source could turn a life-giving star into a serious threat. This scenario shows the blue sun scenario reveals Earth's fragile cosmic balance. This imaginary event highlights how perfectly balanced Earth's relationship with the sun is and reminds us that small changes in cosmic conditions can have enormous effects on life. The idea of the sun turning blue is more than just a fascinating scientific imagination. It reveals how delicate the balance of life on Earth truly is. The sun has remained relatively stable for billions of years, providing the exact amount of energy needed for our planet to support oceans, forests, animals, and human civilization. Even a major change in the sun's temperature or behavior could completely transform the conditions that make Earth a comfortable home. Life on Earth has evolved around the current nature of the sun. Plants have adapted to its light. Animals have developed patterns based on its cycles, and humans have built societies according to the predictable rhythm of day and night. A blue sun would remind us that this stability is not guaranteed. The relationship between Earth and the sun is a perfect example of cosmic balance, where even small changes can create enormous consequences. This imaginary event also helps scientists and researchers understand stars beyond our solar system. By studying hotter blue stars, we learn how stars are born, how they evolve, and how they eventually change over time. The universe is filled with countless stars, each following its own journey, and our sun is just one part of this vast cosmic story. Although the sun will not suddenly turn blue, imagining such an event encourages curiosity about space and the forces that shape our existence. It reminds us that Earth is connected to the universe in ways we often overlook. The light we see every day is the result of billions of years of cosmic history, And protecting our planet means understanding the incredible relationship we share with the star that makes life possible.